what's going on, Moldy Mavis? And I don't even know what today's date is. I think it's November 10th, but it is cold as balls out here. I'm having to wear these gloves. I'm wearing my helmet just because it's cold. Because since this is a bike review, we're not going to actually really need helmets. We're not going to be going around. Today is going to be the review on the 2017 Roscoe 8. This bike comes with 27.5 size wheels, and it is a plus tire bike too. So if you don't feel like spending the money on the stash or anything like that, you could get this bike because it comes in at around $1,200 now. Since it's a 2017 model, it was $1,500, so you're getting a pretty good deal. Now let's start talking about more of the parts and the components on what you get with this bike. This bike comes with a Bontrager dropper post. It is a very nice one, I can tell. It comes up smooth and fast and goes down smooth when you want it to. The bike comes with some decent Shimano disc brakes. I can't find the exact model with them because on the site they don't have all the stats that it used to have. But they're hydraulic disc brakes and they seem to work very well and they are really responsive. These tires are also tubeless. Mine came tubeless, so I don't know if yours will come tubeless or tubeless ready, but just know that they are tubeless and or tubeless ready. The drivetrain consists of SRAM NX components, like the derailleur is a SRAM NX 11 speed. The cranks are also SRAM NX as well. Of course, we have a aluminum frame. For the forks, we have RockShox Judy. I don't even know if that's a thing. I've never heard of RockShox Judy, but there's no other sign name with it besides just RockShox, as you can see in the black decal here. You have your lock mechanism. These are also air shocks, and this is the valve where you put the air in. The bars are Bontrager alloy. They are a 31.8 millimeter with a 15 millimeter rise. You have your lock-on grips. Pedals on this bike aren't too impressive, so I would advise you get a new pair of pedals because these are just normal, basic, cheap, crappy plastic ones. That's mostly all for the components on this bike. Let's jump right into the test on this bike and what it can do well. As for the bunny hop test on this bike, the shocks really help with this because they're really bouncy and you can put in as much air as you want to, and with these plus tires, it really levitates you. Now jumping into the stair test with this bike, then again, bikes with plus tires, it's so much easier to do stairs because of the circumference and the way they just feel when you go over the stairs. It almost feels like nothing. Have some help with the suspension, more like all of the help. There's no really trails we can test this bike on, but I can guarantee you it does well, just according to going over these routes right here. Compared to the stashes, this bike is really good. It's also a lot cheaper. It has plus tires as well, and the suspension is great. So it is a really good trail bike as well. These Shimano brakes have half internal routing, half external routing. They enter around the T and Trek, and they exit around the dropper post, and that's where it goes up into the dropper post. And then it externally routes back into the derailleur and all through the top part of the frame. So they are zip tied in, so it should not get in your way. Chain, this bike also comes with a nice chain pad so you don't scratch up your paint. Now for jumps on this bike with your plus tires and the good suspension, whenever you go off anything, it feels like a cloud. Besides, 10 plus foot jumps, that'd probably break it. Okay guys, this is the intermission in the tutorial. Ben just did it and crashed. And as you can tell, it is tubeless, so your sealant will come out and it seals up and it's perfectly fine. Perfect just like example. That. Now jumping in the wheelies, this bike is pretty easy to wheelie on. It's a little lighter, and the plus tires, I don't know if they really help or not, but since they are smaller tires, it is a little different from wheeling on a 29er. On this bike, it has pretty good front brakes, so rolling stoppies on it, not hard at all. Normal just stoppies on this bike is really easy because the brakes on this bike are very responsive, but they're not too responsive, so you won't go over the bars. Fakies are easy because this bike's also lighter. I don't know how it differs from a 29 plus bike, but they're all pretty easy to do these tricks on if you're actually good at the tricks. So this bike weighs about 30.7 pounds with tubes in it. So that's actually pretty light for a bike like this. That's around $1,200. So that's pretty much all for this review, the components on it. If you want to go more in depth, either just ask me in the comments or go online to the Trek site and search the Roscoe 8 2017 model. It has every spec you would want on there. The bike can do a lot of stuff. It can do stairs, jumps, tricks, anything, trails. It is a good all-around bike for only $1,200 now. So if you don't want to pay the money for the stash, for you, this is the next best thing to get. So if you enjoyed the video, if you did, go and give it a like. If you're new, subscribe. And yeah, guys, peace.